Yo, welcome to Urban Gameplay Discussion with your host with the most hype, Matt Pepper, breaking down the dopest gaming talk on the planet.
Yo, what's good, peeps? FIFA 16 and Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 has been out for a couple of weeks now, and shots are being fired from all cylinders. All the fanboys are getting crazy, and everyone's debating as to which is the better football game out of the two. This season for me definitely appears to be one of the tightest seasons to call which one is definitely the better game. Some people are saying that Pro Evolution Soccer is leading due to the gameplay, and some are saying obviously due to the license inside of FIFA 16, Pro Evolution could never be a better football game. Regardless of whatever the debate is, in this urban gameplay discussion video, I definitely want to focus on the gameplay aspects of things and see what game is technically better on the pitch. If we look at it from the features perspective, then I would definitely say that FIFA 16 is arguably the better game out of the two, given the fact that the licensing element is just too big to ignore. Obviously that's one of the cards that a lot of FIFA fans like to use, but trust me, it's definitely a feature that we can't ignore. Pro fans might argue that Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 has upped its game, and given the fact that obviously now you've got the file sharing as an option on the PlayStation 4, some may say that might bridge the gap with the whole licensing issue, but I still don't know. We've got a special guest joining us on our show today who's going to be telling us why he left Pro Evolution Soccer to join the FIFA side and why he feels that FIFA is definitely a better game. Before we get to the special guest, I want to hear from some of the fans out there to see what their thoughts and what their vibes is on the better game, so we can kind of get a perspective from both sides.
Yo, man, Pepper, let's go to the phone lines and see what the streets be saying.
In my opinion, Pro Evolution 2016 is the better game in terms of gameplay and in terms of more fun, whereas I feel FIFA take away the fun of football games with the more stiff-like movement and the more ways that obviously they can't change directions, but the licensing is a much better thing that FIFA does have the advantage of Pro. But if in my overall opinion, I would say Pro is the better game. So Pro Evolution of 2016 over FIFA 2016.
Yo, that PES game is a total letdown, man. What's the point of putting out a football game and hardly any team licenses? Yeah, they've got the Champions League, Europa Cup, etc. But come on, who wants to spend time manually trying to change North London red or blue or whatever to Arsenal? That's just plain whack, man. What's the point of that?
As you can see, definitely from our callers, they're definitely giving us an insight as to why they prefer each game. Obviously from a Pro Evolution Soccer side, that's one of the main things I'm always hearing, is that the gameplay is just smooth and collective, and I personally would agree. In terms of the licensing situation, yet again, as I said at the intro of the video, it's something that we can't really ignore. But yo, let's chop it up with our special guest Earthchild, who's going to break down why he feels that FIFA is a better game, because he used to be an avid Pro Evolution Soccer fan, but he definitely became a FIFA fan over the years, and let's see why he made this transition.
Yo, man, Peps, who's our special guest on the show today?
Now, I've been a Pro fan from primary school going into secondary school. Now, Pro has been the game where we're talking about hardcore competition, face-to-face competition. This is before online. Pro was the game for that. I love that the fact that Pro had the pick up and play element, and it was just when you scored a screamer, you scored a screamer. But now as the new gen games have, not new gen games, but the new gen consoles have come through, we see that FIFA has more taken over as the main footballing game, especially in the UK. Now, I can name you 3 reasons for that. One is because FIFA has amazing license, they got their licenses, so it's quite obvious that they're going to have the edge. 2, amazing commentary, as well as 3, sleek graphics. So now for me, that made a huge difference in the footballing, playing a football game. It gave me all the elements I needed to feel like I was in a real football game. Now, FIFA is the game I play, but now coming into the 2016, season, I'm seeing that Pro stepped up their game, and the actual graphics on Pro look amazing and sleek. So only time will tell and the numbers to see which one will do better, but I still stick by FIFA 100%, and FIFA's my game all the way.
Yo, Earthchild definitely brought up some really cool points and gave a really cool insight as to why he transitioned away from Pro Evolution Soccer, and I feel that these are some of the points why so many other gamers have gone onto the FIFA side of things. I still think that this season is going to be the most difficult to part both games, as they are both neck and neck, and if you've watched my previous video about my game of the month of September 2015, you will know where both games ranked. As I have had more time to play both games, I've got my personal opinion as to which one I personally prefer, but I will break that down in my final thoughts. I'm going to show you guys a quick insight as to the comparison of Manchester United versus Arsenal on FIFA 16 and Pro Evolution 2016. First up, we're going to definitely look at the intro side of things. Looking at the Pro Evolution intro and featured presentation for the gameplay, it looks really smooth. Starting from inside the stadium, you can definitely see how much thought and emphasis has gone behind this whole procedure. The graphics look amazing, and just the way the animation works is definitely smooth and makes you feel quite part of the game. Personally, I would have preferred the commentator to be talking a little bit more, because it does get a bit flat after a while, and if you play a few more matches, you'll probably end up skipping the intro just because there's not really much more apart from the really nice animation and the smooth visuals. Looking at the FIFA intro to the match and the featured presentation, I would say this is certainly outstanding. The players don't start from inside the stadium, but nonetheless it's still a very cool experience. The commentating is phenomenal. The way they introduce each player and break down which individual talents are in the team, I just think that adds so much realism to the gameplay. I would definitely say that the animation isn't as smooth as the Pro Evolution Soccer intro, but the overall experience I would say has the edge. Therefore, I'd say given the atmosphere to the FIFA intro, I would say personally it probably is the better version. Moving on to the gameplay and the mechanics, I would say that FIFA 16 does take a little getting used to, so it might not be enjoyable if you're a brand new player to the series or whether you're not really into football games as much. There were so many points where I felt that I didn't fully control the whole gameplay here. Maybe it's just my personal skill level at FIFA 16, but I have played multiple different series of FIFA games over the years, and I still feel that I find it difficult to get into certain matches. When trying to defend the opposition, it does get a little frustrating from time to time because I always feel like the AI interferes too much, but I guess it's just the realism of what FIFA are trying to create here and just trying to emulate the real life football experience, which obviously I still have to give credit to, but sometimes adding too much realism does hinder the gameplay slightly. I don't want to sound like I'm knocking FIFA, but as you can see, when I conceded this goal, it felt like there was nothing I can do about it. It just felt like the control was outside of my hands, and I'm not really trying to blame anyone else but myself, but at the same time it does feel like the responsibility doesn't really just lie on my shoulders why I conceded this goal. I must admit that the gameplay and the game mechanics have been refined for FIFA 16 in comparison to the FIFA 15, but does still feel a bit edgy to me. In saying that, the live score update is just amazing. Whilst playing this match, whilst Liverpool was taking on Everton, when Liverpool scored, the scores appeared on my screen, and I thought that was really sensational, just given a direct connection with real life football. For me personally, if we move on to the Pro Evolution Soccer side of things, Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 gameplay definitely feels smooth and pretty much pick up and play, if I'm honest with you. Straight away it feels like I'm full control of my players' movement and all off the ball activities when tracking back. Even though I conceded a goal here, it was definitely because of my timing and my slide tackles was just way off, and I pressed the wrong button from time to time, so I felt like when I conceded a goal it was definitely my fault. I feel that the game really reacts to my commands, which is just superb. I would say Pro Evolution Soccer definitely wins in the department of the gameplay and also the game mechanics personally. Before we go into another area to debate over, I'm definitely going to go back to the messages and hear what other people's opinions about Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 versus FIFA 16 is.
The debate is starting to heat up. Let's hear what the gamers got to say.
The gameplay in Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 has always been the best gameplay experience you will find in any soccer game.
FIFA 16 is complete and utter rubbish, man. I played the demo and that was it for me. Too many buttons just to learn, just to do one simple move. It seems, every year it seems they're trying to make the game way too realistic for my likings, which just ends up killing the fun, man. I didn't even bother playing that garbage of a game, Pro Evolution Soccer. Real sports fans, I say drop both games and get Madden NFL 16 or NBA 2K16 on the PS4 or Xbox One. P.
Yet again, some great valid points, and I'm definitely want to move back into looking at the graphical side of things. Graphically, both games are amazing, but I do feel like FIFA's animation is not as smooth as Pro Evolution, which I said at the start in terms of the intro. But even just looking at some of the highlight reels, it just doesn't feel as smooth as it should do. Looking at the reaction of the players here in the FIFA footage, you can see sometimes it's just a little bit glitchy for my personal liking. The graphics are nice, but focusing on the animation, it feels not up to par. Pro Evolution Soccer graphics are really cool and the animation definitely works a treat. My only criticism with the Pro Evolution Soccer side of things is every time you take a shot, it seems to do a replay, which is quite annoying after a while, because once you play one match, you're ending up watching about 15 to 20 different replays. The $1 million question for everyone is definitely, what should you buy? FIFA 16 or Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 if you're standing on the fence? For me personally, I think both of these games are really great. They're still loaded with faults, which definitely can't be overlooked. I feel that the licensing issue is extremely annoying if you're a major football fan, and even with the sharing files, I don't think that's really enough to save Pro Evolution Soccer from the licensing side of things. Even when I first actually played Pro Evolution Soccer, I was surprised that most of the transfers for the season hasn't actually gone through, which I find to be quite annoying. Maybe it might be updated in the next couple of weeks or so, but at the point of this video being made, which is the start of October, the transfer still hasn't been updated in my version of the game. And obviously the transfer window shuttered at the start of September, so for there not to be an update, I think that's really a big letdown. Going back to the file sharing side of things, I think that's quite a tedious job because you've got to pretty much do it manually for most teams. I'm not really too sure of the full procedure, but I do know that it's not as straightforward as it previously used to be back in the days. Pro Evolution Soccer commentating has been a little bit improved, but I still would say that at times it definitely appears still dull and disappointing from various times to time, so it's definitely still not the greatest thing. In terms of FIFA, I still feel that the gameplay still does need some work for it to be a top game for me personally. It doesn't feel like you can just pick up and play the game as well, and I feel that the AI interrupts me so many times whilst playing, which for me personally is quite a big issue. Avid FIFA fans may obviously be used to the way the gameplay works and definitely got around this, and as I said, it might sound like it's just me picnicking at some of the faults in FIFA, but it's still quite a big issue for me personally. Put this into some form of context, overall I would definitely say that if you're a major football fan who follows the sport hardcore and not really bothered about the little nitpicks which I've pointed out in terms of the gameplay and stuff, FIFA 16 is certainly the best game in terms of a football sports game. I would definitely say this will really appeal to you more if you're definitely a die-hard football fan and you're not really too caring about the gameplay side of things. The commentating is superb. The licensed overall experience of a football fan is just amazing. They've also got amazing additional features which just enhance the footballing experience, such as female teams which show how far they're willing to go to really excel what happens in the real world, and it's definitely something that can't be ignored. If you're about smooth, concise gameplay that definitely keeps you returning for more game matches, definitely Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 will be the better game in my personal opinion. The gameplay is just phenomenal. For me personally, I would say that this is the main feature that I personally look for in a game, is just enjoyment and phenomenal gameplay, and that's why I would personally say that Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 appeals to me slightly more than FIFA 16 would, but I still can't disregard that FIFA 16 is not a top game. It's an amazing game if you're a real big football fan. I think whatever decision you decide to make, it won't be the wrong decision because both games are really great and they're definitely neck and neck in terms of which one is the better one. Anyway peeps, thanks for taking the time out to watch the vid, and I also want to thank all the callers for taking time out to contribute to the video. We will definitely be doing more of these call-ins and these type of videos, so make sure you definitely look out on the tweets and definitely get involved. Make sure you like, share and comment below and let me know what game you personally prefer out of FIFA 16 or Pro Evolution Soccer 2016. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.